ton of excitement when you start a new season, and a lot of enthusiasm. Great off season for our guys. The eyeball test for a couple weeks in, pretty good. So we like what we see, and we're excited to get going.
How do you feel? What type of shape do you feel your team came in? They ready to go?
Yes. They had a terrific off season, and you can just see it. I always say the first test I like is the eyeball test, and you always have that start of the year excitement, but there's something more there too. Like they know it, and they got a good feel, and normally I don't like to get too excited, but I think I got to throw it out there with this group. They're enormous amount of talent and depth throughout the whole lineup, and we start putting the pieces of the puzzle together now, and it's a long. The one thing, it's a long year though, but we're off to a really good start.
Your defensive strength in this team?
Yes, I mean right now it's a really high end. It's kind of. I think it's almost amazing. 2 years ago, that decor was one of the better ones that I'd ever seen in college hockey, and I'm not so sure this group couldn't keep up with them. And that's just a testament to the character in there and their work and the pieces that we've added in there. It's definitely a strength, and we've got some veteran presence in there. The big thing for us too. We do have two older guys coming back in Nevin and Mike Koster. We're utilizing Liam Soulier, so we have 3 fifth-year players. But we have a large junior class. That group's been through a lot as freshmen and sophomores for us, and with only Huglin's and Nick Michael is the only older guys that we've got on our team. But that junior class is what you're used to seeing in a class becoming an upperclassman. Leadership, talent. Obviously, it was huge to get Snuggy back in that group, but Chesley, Thomas, Luke Middlestat, John, Lamb, Kurth. It just gives us a different look with those older guys.
Are there some guys that you've seen that have taken a noticeable step just in the early going that you've seen so far in camp? Mm-hmm. Are there some guys you've seen that are like, who's stepped up?
Well, that's the fun part about it is I think some of the names I just mentioned, but Brody Lamb, it was like there's been a transformation. Connor Kurth. And part of it is becoming an upperclassman, and why just a few months later from your sophomore year there's a change, but you watch that happen in college sports. Luke Middlestat, Chesley and Thomas are already there as just strong men, but they've got help behind them and in that class, so that everybody's taken a step. It's kind of cool to see. Everybody's taken a step.
Bob, I asked you about Matthew Wood a couple weeks ago, and you said you wanted to see him a little bit first. What have you seen?
Yep. Pretty good hockey player. Big, strong, knows what to do with the puck. And he's got a different look about him. I said, he got a little bit of a Vanek look to him. We're big. And what I love most is his attitude and his demeanor, and put him on a spot in the power play, and he goes, never played there before. I like it. I'll try it. So just great demeanor and fitting right in.
Bob, you sense that this group has a feeling from last year that they want to accomplish a lot more than they did last year?
Yeah, I would. For sure. I kind of, like a lot of our guys, a large number of our guys were around 2 years ago, and have been through experiences, it's kind of tag they're it. I think you've got a handful of guys that, it's that their turn to kind of lead, their turn to kind of take that leadership role. Expectations are exact same, but this group, it's got a little different feel to it. And nothing bad. It's like I'm always cautious. It's like, which one of your kids you like the most. You don't ever want to answer that one. You always got a favorite, but you never want to say it. But this group, we're early too. But you can there's just a lot of options we have from an offensive standpoint. Different looks we're going to have. This freshman class too. This is a different looking freshman class too. They're older. They're strong, and because we had a couple of guys the last few years that were they were freshmen. They look like freshmen. Our freshmen don't look like freshmen. They come in a little chiseled, a little grizzled, with a lot of talent. So, be excited for you guys to see him play.
How's your goalie position shaping up?
And there's the one. Justin Close played an awful lot of minutes for us the last couple of years. So, we've got a ton of faith in Nathan Airy coming back, though he was very limited last year in what he could do. But he's a big, strong athlete, and Liam Soulier has been he kind of has a little Justin Close in him. But he's older. He's been around. That's the one advantage maybe sometimes we're going to get in this transfer portal era is we just added an old wily veteran quarterback, that is excited to be here and get his chance. Nothing's going to be too big for him. So that's going to help our young guy too. But the real honest answer to your question with goaltending is I pick starters. I never pick number one goalies. I only pick starters. You got Friday, you got Saturday. They got a battle on their hands to battle this thing out. And we're going to have a changing of the guard, a goaltender this year. And we got a couple guys that are going to fight it out.
You like the chance to bond together a little early, being on the road for a while?
Well, we have no choice this year. It's one that's crazy. It's one of those things, your schedule comes out. Tom McGinnis, a few years, this is probably going back 3 years. You want to go to Vegas to start? They want us to hold. Yeah, let's do it. Duluth, can you come to us? Yeah, we'll do it. Yeah. And all of a sudden it's there, and you're on your road. We're on the road 5 of our first 6 games. But it'll be fine for this team. Great team bonding, and we got to go up to St. Cloud, the exhibition game to start. So I like how it plays out. I really do.
What do you know about the rest of the conference, just in a thumbnail sketch, what you've seen transpire over the summer?
You know what? You're way ahead of me. You're peeking at it, but we're just concentrating on this right now. The Michigan State lost their big defenseman. They got everybody else back. So they won the league last year and won the playoffs. So, they're sitting in a probably very comfortable spot. I think we're sitting in a very comfortable spot. And then there's a lot of teams. There was a lot of changeover. And but the one thing in the Big Ten Conference, the changeover usually is with a lot of talent. So I think you got to let it sort itself out and go from there. All right.
Thanks.
You bet.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is coach really stressed at the end of last year, the buy-in this summer. Obviously, guys go home and do their thing, but I think for a good month or two, most of the guys were here this summer. And just working out together, it's just different. Guys pushing each other, guys are looking at numbers, trying to beat each other. So, and it's all fun. So I think that's a big thing. I thought we came into training camp great shape. And obviously, there's a difference between great shape and game shape. So we're still trying to get there. So, but you can tell that the guys are hungry to get playing here next weekend.
Mike, you've been part of a decor with Brock and Jackson and Ryan, and now with this group. What do you see in the talent level that this group has?
Yeah, it's crazy how much offense we have back there, but I think the biggest thing is how much guys are buying into the defensive side of the puck right now. Obviously during camp and stuff, they love testing our D, they're testing our feet. And we have one of the most skilled groups of forwards in the country, so they're getting us ready to go, come St. Cloud, come Vegas. So, and I think our depth back there is awesome. Obviously you never want injuries to happen, but we know we got a lot of guys back there that can play hockey. So.
Are you past the anniversary date of the injury, and is it weird being back in training camp?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say anything, but I think,
I want to jinx it.
I think it was today last year.
Oh,
so I'll knock on wood.
But you made it through practice. So
Yeah, but no, it's been awesome. Obviously last year, not being able to be on the ice for the first month or two, I've been having so much fun. Those young guys coming in here have so much energy and stuff, and they're all great kids too. So we have a really close team. And you can tell how special it is already. Just guys being excited to get into the locker room every day. We had practice at like 7:30 last Friday, and guys are pumped to go. So yeah.
AM or PM?
AM.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, AM. So yeah. So same thing tomorrow. So but no, guys are there's a lot of energy on the ice, and everyone can kind of feel it.
A year ago at this time, everybody saw a big body in Sam, but didn't really know what he had. He kind of introduced himself to the Big Ten in a pretty big way, and I see now he's first team preseason All Big Ten. Just what kind of tool is he to have back there?
Yeah, I've seen it. He's a Chaska kid, a little younger than me, but I've seen it, so I know what to expect. And he's such a great skater. And being that big and being a great skater, and he's the mental part of the game for him, his hockey IQ is outstanding too. And I think the biggest thing is he's just looking to get better every single week. And you can tell, like this offseason, he had a great offseason as well. So, I'm super excited to see what he can do this year. And again, he's been great. We got so many leaders in the room too, even the younger guys. It's awesome to see. So, super excited.
What do the fifth-year guys bring you for leadership and experience?
Yeah, I think it's just, it's our fifth time going through training camp, and obviously everyone's goal at the end, we know what the goal is for the end of the year, but I think the biggest thing is I've said it before, but you can't win a national championship in September, but you can lose it. And I think just stacking days. I think that's been the biggest thing for this team so far is you only get a certain amount of days before you play the first game. You don't get a lot. So I think the biggest thing is getting as prepared as we can and kind of come out fast this year.
Going to get to visit a lot of hotel rooms in October. What does that do for a team that's kind of trying to gel and get to know each other a little bit?
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. Spend a lot of time together on the road, and obviously we're going to Vegas. That'll be a great atmosphere. Duluth will be obviously a great atmosphere as well. I think we're just excited to play games. We've been practicing each other for a while. I think we're excited to put it in play. But no, guys are super excited, and we're going to test it early. But that's what you want. You want to get tested early. You want to play the best team. So we're really excited.
Is there a sense with this team that we didn't get what we wanted to do last year, didn't get that done, but there's a lot more that you feel you can do this year?
Yeah, I think there's a little bitterness still. Obviously, a new team, new players, but I think there's a bitterness. We know that we could have gone farther last year, and I think that's kind of been the message since the spring. And you can kind of tell with the guys' work this summer. Obviously, it's a long ways down the road, and we got a lot of work to do to get there. But it's been a great start so far, and guys have been buying in every day. Again, the energy has been awesome.
For you and for Mason, you both missed October at least last year. Was that maybe a factor in deciding, maybe last year was a missed opportunity and we didn't get the full thing, you want to come back?
Yeah, for sure. It's so hard when you lose that first month, especially just like the team gelling and being there, especially as leaders. Being able to be vocal out there, it was tough for us to watch it from the bench every day. But I think the biggest thing is just it's such a blessing to wear the M. It's tough that we only get one more year, but I think it was kind of a no-brainer, and we both talked about it. And this team was really exciting on paper and stuff, and obviously we got a lot of work to do. But just being able to here be a leader, and like I said, we got so many guys that are leaders in the team. Even the young guys have come in and worked so hard and just gelled already. So.
What are your impressions of the goalie position so far?
Deep. All three have looked awesome. Sully coming in, such a hard worker. He came in with his, this head down. A great guy too, older guy. He's been there before. And Erzy came back. Obviously, he was at home. He lives in Canada, so he came back and just looked phenomenal as well. So we're deep.
Wood sounds like he's a nice addition.
Yeah. Again, I keep beating it, but he's just a great kid too. And I mean, he's big, but he's got a shot. I've seen his playmaking out there too, and tell you what, he's not fun to go against. But he's getting the decor ready for that first game, so he's awesome.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Jimmy, the obvious first question, just what went into your decision to come back?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that went into it. It was a big piece of my life. Obviously, it was a tough decision. What it came down to for me was a leadership aspect of it, a team aspect of it, and a winning aspect of it. I think, everyone in that locker room goal is to win a national championship. It's something we all pride ourselves by, and I think, that was one of the biggest reasons. Just to be able to come back and have another strong year, another strong team. I think we have a lot of aspects to our team that made me come back. So I think those three reasons are kind of what pushed me to come back.
Did you feel like you kind of missed an opportunity maybe in February? I know you were a little banged up for a while, and maybe it affected you. Was there kind of some unfinished business that way too?
Yeah, for sure. I think kind of a couple knacking injuries that just were kind of there along the way that impacted me in a negative way. I would say. I think kind of having that final push in such like a wrong way, in such a bad way. I think I wasn't playing to my abilities, and that was another reason.
Jimmy, how would you describe the just overall talent on this team? Bob was just up here and he just said there's just a special feeling going in already this early for him to even be saying that.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
It kind of reminds me a lot of my freshman year, honestly, that team. Our D-core is, pretty unstoppable. Going up against Cal Thomas and Ryan Chesley, it's nearly impossible to get around those two guys when you're going on a rush. I think, our D-core is there, our forwards have, so much skill. Our young guys are there. We have, that Wood, he's a transfer, and he's obviously such a huge helper. And then, our goalies are there in the back end to help us out. I mean, we got two really strong goalies this year.
Did you have to apologize to Liam for what you had done to him when he was wearing a different jersey?
What did I do to him?
Just scoring.
Oh, Penn State. Yeah, sorry. I thought you meant on practice. But, yeah.
I mean, is it just weird? Former opponent, and now he's
yeah,
now
it is
he's in your
weird.
room.
It's a little weird, but I mean, he's already fit in so well with our team. Such a nice guy, such a competitive kid. He's all heart in Minnesota, and he's emphasized that to us.
I know it's a long way away, but have you noticed where the Frozen Four is going to be played this year?
Yeah, I have. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, that's obviously pretty far in the window, but that's a goal, so I've seen that.
Did you skate there at Dev Camp at all, or at that big rink?
Not at the Enterprise Center, just the practice rink.
Getting to know the town a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
You're not like a Cardinals fan, no.
No. I'm not very good anyways.
Just what was the summer like for you? I mean, were you here a lot, or you working with your dad? What's your summer like?
Yeah, so I lived on campus here with Chesley, Koster, and Nevers. We were kind of just coming to the rink, mostly every day, working out here, and then skating over at Braemar Monday and Wednesday, and then Tuesday and Thursdays we're in Prior Lake, and then we train our butts off in the morning, and then go golf in the afternoon, and a couple trips there in the summer. But I think just kind of living with those three other guys here in the summer was also a motivator, because even though those four guys were here, we also had 10 other guys here from our team.
Mike and Mason obviously dealt with injuries early last season. Just their decision to come back, and I think in May they made the decision final. Just what does it mean to have two fifth-year guys like that?
It means a lot. I think the veteranship that they're bringing to our team is so huge. We had fifth years last year, and we're happy to have them back again. I think their leadership role is so important on our team because they've been through just about everything with this team. Obviously, the one thing they haven't been through is winning, and I think that's the goal that we all want to reach.
Ryan, the defensive core 2 years ago was, one of the better defensive cores in Gopher hockey history. Your coach says he almost gets a similar feel this year. Just what have you seen from the Blue Liners, and how much pressure is that to live up to what the group 2 years ago did?
Yeah, I'm not going to make any comparisons. Obviously, we had a really good group that year, but we have an unbelievable decor this year. A lot of confidence in our guys, and should be really good.
Is it a different mentality when you got to start that many games on the road? You guys, I assume you guys like playing at home too, but do you care? Do you talk about it?
Treat it like a normal game. Prepare the same way. You know, we're not from our home fans, but that's about it. So we'll play like a normal game, and we all like it on the road.
What have you seen from Matthew Wood, and how nice is it going to be to have him going the other way instead of coming toward you?
Yeah, he's a really good player from what I've seen so far. Off the ice too, great guy. Great to have on the team in the locker room, so it should be fun to see what he can do in games.
Did you score against the Auxiliar last year?
I did not.
Anyway,
Yeah.
just I asked Jimmy this too, but he was the enemy for the last couple of years. What's it like having him in your room now, and it seems like he's fitting in pretty well too.
Yeah, it's fun to have him. Fun guy to have on the team. And he's a great player too. A lot of experience he has. He's played in every Big Ten, probably one in each building too. So that's a great thing to have on the team.
Ryan, Jimmy was saying that this team kind of reminds him of his freshman year, just talent-wise. Do you notice similar things, just the talent scattered throughout this roster right now?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, that's one of the most talented teams I've ever been on, and I'd say this is right up there too. So I don't know. We'll see how we can do, but I think it's gonna be a special group.
What makes this a special group? I know it's early, but just coming into it right now, what do you have this year that maybe you didn't have a year ago or even your freshman year?
I think we've connected really well on and off the ice so far. We haven't known each other that long, and we've already bonded so much and so well together, so I think that's a really important part.
What was it like seeing, first of all, Jimmy make the decision to come back for another year, and then right after that, Mike and Mason decide they're going to play a fifth year? Just, what does that kind of veteran leadership mean?
It's great. Obviously, you like to have a lot of older guys on the team to help with that experience and leadership, so it's huge to have those guys back for their fifth years, and then obviously having Snugs back is huge. Everyone knows what he can do on the ice, but he's a great player off the ice too, a great person, so it's awesome.
How was last year's finish motivating this team going forward? You guys feel you've got a lot more to accomplish?
For sure, yeah. Obviously a little sour taste after last year's finish, but we're motivated. We had a great summer, and we're ready to get back at it.
All right, thanks, Ryan.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.